Beautiful. Beautiful.
Hello, good morning, good morning.
Close to genius.
Well, when he's around, you've always got a chance.
Good evening, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. So today we got FOMC coming out later. So you want to be cautious about this. You want to be really cautious that we have the FOMC later. Because I can already see as we're heading towards the end of the month and we're approaching FOMC today, the markets have been slightly choppy over here since yesterday at least. I've been noticing a lot more trickles like this, a lot more compression. So, you know, make sure you're going to protect your capital. Make sure you're going to execute entries with caution. Right? Right now the daily is at negative 0.05%. That way we can change the settings on this thing. Let's change the visibility here. There we go. Perfect. All right. So, if you look on the daily time frame right now, you know, it's pushing down. We had the previous daily candlestick close like very strong bearish. Like a very strong bearish candle closure over here. We have that support area by, you know, like 4,000 psychological. But I believe more than anything else, the market is just kind of waiting. It's kind of waiting for FOMC statement. But for the FOMC statement, we shouldn't be getting any much news. We shouldn't be getting any much news in terms of rate decisions. Right? We should still be keeping rates the same on here. Hope y'all are doing good. Hope your day is off to a good start. Now let's see what the market has in store. This is July. All right. Just gonna check something here. So again, I would say these are the key things that we're looking at for the day. These are the key events that we're looking at. FOMC statement. So what do we notice here? Like we have red folders coming out at 2 p.m. Right now it is 7:09 a.m. Eastern. So this is going to be obviously much, much later. Correct. Now the question is, the market is going to accumulate. Let's go here. Let's remove this. Bring this a bit lower. Correct. So these are the key things we're looking at. No change. Currently they're holding at about 64.2%. We're holding a no change on the rate decisions. Okay, so those are our probabilities. Most likely nothing's gonna happen, but up until 2 p.m. over there, we're gonna expect maybe some kind of a further consolidation. Right, we have our just bear with me 1 second here. Trading views always gotta warm up. I'm always warmed up, ready to go, but trading views always gotta warm up until it tells me that I can start using tools. So let's warm up over here. All right, awesome. Thank you, TradingView. So this is kind of the range that I'm looking at. Price currently holding here. It's like 350 pip. Got a 350 pip range right now on gold. So most likely, the reason why we're not yet seeing the move down, what I'm expecting overall in the higher time frame, is because we're just holding this range for FOMC. Right, we're gonna have the FOMC come out today finally, and then I believe that daily time frame can start moving down. And the thing about this range is we're essentially at the range highs right now. So we're going to expect that price should actually be coming down to retest the lows, which it's doing. So, you know, we're still kind of respecting PA at this point. Price action is still being respected. Correct? So we will be coming down back here. Most likely. That's going to be most likely the target right over here. And that target from where we are right now is, you know, let's say about 147 pips away. Okay, as we just continue to hold this range area right over here. So early this morning, still managed to catch like a small buy back to the top of the range here. And you can see once it started hitting our targets, price started to roll over again. Correct? And that's what we're currently seeing. You go on the 15-minute. You can see the range even a little bit more better here on the 15. Correct? We can see the range so much more clearly here. Now I'm thinking if I'm going to take a trade, maybe we're going to look at taking a sell. I see the previous hourly here had a very strong sell reaction as it was down negative 1.1 million. Activity wise, looks alright, but we'll see how that opens up later too. We'll see how that opens up later. But right now, in terms of bias, I'm not having too strict of a bias. You know, we could get a buy, we could get a sell. No strict bias at this very moment. We just want to keep monitoring these facts and how price is going to continue reacting. Right? Let's go 15-minute. What else did we notice? Since we bounced off the highs, price came down. Still has a lot more room to the downside. It may be giving a liquidity grab confluence right over here, similar to the trade that I took this morning too. Yep, there's liquidity grab confluence here. If you even go back onto the 5-minute and investigate this a bit better, you can see like a little bit of a fake out situation below here. That price came down currently and is potentially doing a liquidity grab. We're doing a small liquidity grab right down here because you see this candle is about to close in about 1 minute. And it's gonna try and close this little minor support level right over here and target back above these highs because it's within a nice range of around 40 pips. 40 pips over here to the upside, correct? That's if it moves up. The next candlestick, most likely I would be expecting to, you know, create a bottom wick and then break up like this to kind of like fill some of this area here. Because although we should be moving down technically speaking off the higher time frame analysis, there could still be some moves to catch in between. It's like a similar thing basically if you look at what happened here. Basically the same thing, right? Small liquidity grab to the downside. You got the fake out, the closure above, and then the next candle broke above the previous high right here to fill the range. Right, but overall that we see at least the current trend for now, it's trying to push more bearish. It's trying to push more to the downside. So we're creating new lower highs at the moment off of this range, this massive range over here. We're creating new lower highs. So we have our high above here, equal high because we're in a range, and price is currently on the way down. So we got our lower high Got a lower high right here, lower high right here, and we may be creating another lower high over here. So there's gonna be like a small little pullback potentially, right? I see the candlestick close without a top wick though, like a very small top wick. Whereas you can see with that one, it at least had like a little bit of a bigger top wick over there before we started getting into the break. You guys getting 7 seconds delay? Yes, everybody on YouTube. When you stream on YouTube, YouTube always has a delay. It's usually like, you know, even 7 seconds, man, that's awesome. YouTube is gonna have a 7 or 10 second delay usually. So look at this. Equal highs right over here. Let's copy and paste this too. We got our equal high here. And let's make our chart work look a little bit tidy. Take a little pride in the chart work. Got our equal highs right over here. Or maybe we should just take this high. Boom, boom. Even though you could actually extend it down. You could actually extend this down like that. You could actually extend that down like this. We got equal highs above that level, and we got our equal lows here. So essentially what we're doing is we're identifying the sandbox of where we want to put our strategy, our theory for entry to the test, right? So what we're going to identify is what kind of a day this is, as well, what kind of market condition is this going to be for that sort of experiment. Yeah, that's basically what trading is. It's essentially just putting your sample or your strategy to the test on different market conditions on different days with different things affecting it, different type of a weather. And you see how it performs, right? So today, definitely for me, it's not screaming, oh, we must trade, we must get involved. You know, it's more screaming like, okay, so we got pretty important news coming out, and price is, although it is moving, it's not moving like, okay, you see a movement like this, maybe a little bit more clean, as price is kind of having less supports being formed, right? So we're getting slightly a little bit more pushes, although we're still in that overall range area, correct? But you see, as we're opening up for the rest of the day, we're starting to get choppiness. So you can see here, the C's are getting a lot choppier. The C's are getting a lot choppier. What does that mean? We gotta have to change our sort of like mentality as markets are, you know, are printing candles to what we can expect. All right, you see, now we're breaking the high over here. So it's now heading towards resistance by 40.33 right now. Beautiful. So again, we mentioned it's pretty much the same thing that happened right here as well. Lag? No, I think we should be good. Let me know if you guys are lagging. No lag here. I'm saying good bars. KBPS. So we got that range that's currently being filled. Correct? This range has been filled off that shotgun. So what we had here was a shotgun entry model. But keep in mind, price is still kind of overall currently creating new lower highs. Still currently creating new lower highs. So these are like small moves or ideas that you can look at potentially taking. So this is something that, you know, we're going to look at the order flow as well. And you're going to see on the order flow here, you're seeing a little bit more buying pressure as well. Right? So we have a little bit more buying pressure, which is a good confluence for such a move there to move up to resistance, you know, just a small 36 pips. Of course, you know, the thing with the running trade, it can probably even run beyond 40.33 right now. Just as long as you secure your position, stop loss to break even, partials, whatever have you, trailing. Because, you know, you never know, like the next candle could even just decide, hey, screw these lower highs. Let's start creating some new higher highs, as we have about 40 minutes till the New York Open. Correct? So I think, you know, it's pretty much done what it's supposed to do here, which is move up to clean this range, because essentially what we had over here was clean traffic. We had a clean range for candlesticks to move up to 40.33, right? Pretty nice move. Pretty nice move. Gotta say. Very nice. Clean. Very nice. But it's still looking to head down towards. We still have a potential sell target here. Still got some potential sell targets towards the lows. If price decided to come down, it will just be retesting back down here. So we shall see. We shall see what it does now. What is it going to do here? Let's go on the hourly. The hourly is pretty much, you know, when you investigate the hourly looks a little interesting too, because we've got like this whole zone down over here, but like 40-16. All right, just bear with me. Trading view, like chat, let me know in the chat. You guys not experiencing this too? I don't think someone's answered me this question yet. Are y'all experiencing this delay on TradingView? Is it just me? Because you know what usually happens is I always find these bugs, and then I always message the company, and then they're like, oh yeah, you know, we had this bug over here, and then they fix it. Because like it's happened so many times. It happened on WAP, the payment system that I use. Like I would message them about a bug. It's like people don't message them about these things, so it just stays like that. I recently had a bug as well on my journaling over here. I messaged them and they fixed it. Oh, and by the way, this journal I want to get y'all some discounts. So if you're thinking about getting a journal, I'm going to be getting some really good discounts from them soon, and we're just going to run like some giveaways, some great deals. So if you're looking for a new journal, I think that's pretty good. It's not expensive. It's not too expensive monthly, but you know, you can probably get a good deal. Let me see what they say. Get like some free months. You know, just the same way we run the giveaway for this software here. Man, the software is more expensive than the data. And we gave away, I think it was like 3 or 6 months. We gave it like 50 entries to this software over here. So I hope y'all are using that. I hope y'all are using that. You're experiencing the lag also? Yeah, man, it's like a weird lag. It's a weird lag. You need to get the magic tool over here and... Oh, even the magic tool is lagging. Whoa. It's not working. Yeah, but we're gonna be looking at getting y'all. Oh, there we go. Woo! Oh, the late firework. You know it's the worst? Like when you're trying to put a position on the chart. And you take a trade, and you still gotta wait for that done thing to load. But yes, sir, we're gonna be trying to get some good deals on this over here. But what I was saying is we got a hourly support right here that's still being respected, and obviously you're seeing. What do you notice about this as well? Lots of rejection wicks. Lots of rejection wicks at the lows. So could this be a buy? Could this be a buy situation, or could we just be creating some kind of liquidity that could be sitting underneath these levels? Could we just be creating liquidity right over here? correct? Because if you go on to what we're expecting for FOMC, we're not really expecting much of a change. We're not expecting much of a change. We're not expecting anything. So for me, I think considering that no change is at 64%, it is slightly higher. The hike is increasing. We may potentially get a hike in September though. So the hike is going to mean that gold is going to come down. Right? It's going to mean that gold will come down as the dollar increases in strength. But most likely we're not getting any change. No change today. So I wouldn't be expecting too much of fireworks during FOMC. And don't worry, you're going to be able to still trade. You can still trade. You don't even have to trade the FOMC today. Right? Because if there's volume, you're going to be able to trade that volume tomorrow. You'll still be able to trade tomorrow. All right, we got some news here. Gold ticks higher as markets brace for Fed decision. So this is the headline for the day, as you can see. So that's the main reason why you're noticing maybe some choppiness, maybe some uncertainty. So if you've already taken some trades today and you're already up for the day, I'll say amazing. You know, that's very good. Look to protect that capital. Correct? More than trying to maximize. It's not really like an area to maximize at this point. It's more of an area to say, okay, if you see a good trade that you can take, if you see, again, volume coming into the market, then you can get involved. Right? It's just same way like yesterday, we didn't see volume. So we didn't want to get too involved. Because if I go on to the kill zones and go and investigate yesterday's price action, remember what I said before stream is like, watch out for volume to kind of like give you a better chance at seeing some sort of a direction here. So this was a trade that I initially wanted to take right over here. Correct? And yeah, I mean, I could have gotten the trade. I could have made my money. But you see, it only came in after the market revealed to us the volume. Because look at the way that this candle was coming down yesterday. After all this, you know, I could even like get an earlier entry here. Could have even taken an earlier entry at the break of these lows, because you know this essentially was the accumulation point right there. Right? But you see how that candlestick just started coming down, kind of like giving it away that it's ready to potentially move. And then yeah, I saw the move here, but you know, I kind of like came in. I kind of was like not ready, so I missed it. But that's what I kind of want to see today. You see, like currently here, we are potentially going to see a new higher high being formed. And we might start to see volume start to come in. So remember, like I told you about these buys right here. This buys right here. Because we don't know, we think with a running trade, you don't know if it can break above 40.33, right? Because it's already hit the target by 40.33. So how can you know if price is going to keep going beyond that point? So that's why it's important to like, you know, kind of like respect the structure and just, for the most part, respect it and trade the range that is available for it, you know? So like over here, you can see this morning's trade, we had that 15-minute range from here, from up here to 40.46. So we had to go up a time frame because the 5 minutes still a bit kind of choppy. Right? And we had that beautiful range. We explained it as well later, which I think is pretty good. And you can see on the 15-minute here, notice what happened from the point where I took my buy. Price came, it filled the range, and look at this. The market is literally telling you that it's not going beyond this point, and we don't know if it can go beyond that point, right? It's gonna probably have a reaction. So it gave a few warnings as well. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4 rejection wicks, by 40.46, and then it started to roll over. Correct? So you don't want to be too hopeful about your targets most of the time. Just listen to the markets. You know, you're trying to hold a move. You know, you can hold that move, but that's most likely most going to be like the end of it right there. So I think that was pretty good. I actually wanted to hold the trade, so I ended up holding, but it wasn't pushing as much. So I decided, let me just secure this, because now I can secure myself around instead of like just hoping that volume comes in, because I was just being a bit cautious because of FOMC. So I decided to take that off the table and secure myself around, you know, like 5.12%, which is not bad. Not bad. Mind you, I risk like 2% a trade, and I try and lose like maybe 1% in most scenarios, maybe even less. So that's why risk to reward here, it looks like, you know, 1 to 2, we got 1 to 2.49 currently. But as we're still feeding the software with data, I'm sure this is all going to update much more concretely, at least if we get like a month worth of data in here. Correct? So that's why I'm talking with the people, like the, what you call, the support team, to I think it's a pretty new software still. So, you know, when I came in, there was quite a few bugs, and now we're working with them, we're collaborating with them. I think it's pretty nice. Share some value, because I see a lot of value, man. There's some data in here that I didn't even know that I had. So it's good to have that information. But look at this. Yeah, we hit the highs. Price started rolling over, started creating new lower highs, lower high, lower high, lower high. And you see the same thing I just literally explained to you right now on the 15-minute is the same thing that's happening right now. I told you, got a shotgun entry model. I call this the TFX way. TFX shotgun entry model. Right here. You know, we got order flow is looking pretty decent to the upside as well during those entries. You know, congratulations if you took the trade. You know, trading sometimes it's not about waiting for someone to take the trade and then, you know, just trying to look for a signal. It's also about building your own edge and understanding of markets and being able to take them yourself. You know, that's the whole idea behind trading, is learning the skill. You have to learn the skill. There's gonna be no shortcuts in this industry. It doesn't exist. But yeah, this is what we're seeing now. We're starting to have like some kind of a reaction, and you know, this is what we're gonna call profit taking. Profit taking target. Right there, as we're still creating new lower highs. Now at this point, we've just created some equal highs on the small time frame here. Because, you know, the thing is, why I'm looking at this as a potential equal high already is because I'm anticipating that this is going to become a range soon. Right? I'm anticipating that price is going to come down and then create some kind of a support over here, and then that's going to become a potential range of around, let's say, like 95 pips. And within this range, I'm going to be looking for volume-based moves, potentially to the downside, to retarget the lows right here, which is going to be our, let's say, equal high. No, we're going to change this. Going to say equal low over here, an equal low, and then this is going to be the next potential equal low down here. That's going to be the next potential target for price. So I think that's what's most likely going to happen. So I'm going to say so we're going to be anticipating a breakout range over here. And most likely bearish, but we'll see. You know, with FOMC, even with the bearish outlook overall, there's buys, man. You can't ignore the buys. You can't ignore the buys. Although I even want the daily, if I even go on the daily, My whole analysis on the daily is that price is going to break these lows, right? And then proceed to break the previous quarterly lows right over here. And then melt. Break below like, 39, 37. Because this is just most likely the quarterly highs that are being formed. Alright, if you look on the monthly as well, these are the monthly highs. Candlestick most likely going to roll over soon. So that's what I'm still expecting. But, we still can't ignore the buys. So you got to take a buy over here. Of your touch. Beautiful. So buyers make money, sellers make money, pigs get slaughtered. So you see, if you're being overly too greedy, look what's going to happen here. And I bet you it's going to come in deeper too. It's going to come in deeper to take out these lows right here like this. Most likely going to do that because pigs going to get slaughtered there. About like 34 pips. Just the same way this was only about like, like 67 pips. Can you please explain the shotgun entry? Yeah, we got the, first you got to look and see like, okay, so if you're expecting price to move up, there you got to see where is price heading to. So you got to anticipate your clean range. So we can see it's from here, like from here to that resistance. The clean traffic, right? The clean candles. Correct? And the whole idea behind it is when price creates a new high, like it just did here. So, price did essentially this. It came down, created a support, did that, created like a little fake out situation below here. The candlestick then closed above resistance. And as it's closing above resistance, you're expecting that the next candlestick is going to open, create a bottom wick. Could even be looked like a break and a retest on the lower time frame, but create a bottom wick and then re-break the previous candlestick highs. Like that, to move up to essentially fill the range, which again is that clean traffic. So you got your clean range here. Candlestick close above, re-break of the previous highs like this, entry right there at the re-break of the previous highs to move up to fill the target right there. That would essentially be it. It's a pretty simple candlestick reading over here. It's a pretty simple thing that candles love to do. Even like you see how, when you get your confluence, let's say if you had your trade confirmation here, then like when the candle closes below that support, breaks, and then it kind of like pushes, then it still continues to push. So there was like a pocket of opportunity here for that shotgun play. Right, there's a pocket of opportunity here for that shotgun play because what we noticed was a potential liquidity grab below the lows. But the overall target is now down to 40.10. It's pretty simple. Very simple. It's a matter of not trading like some kind of a candlestick pattern, but trading more like if you believe that you're having your confluences kind of like lining up and it makes sense to take the buy. Because when you look at people who trade in general, why can one person or two people trade the same thing, but one person is profitable trading and the other person is not profitable? Because one has a bit more of an edge. They're knowing when to take the position and when not to take the position. One knows better when not to trade than the other. So that's how I would like kind of break down trading overall in a nutshell, because they say everything works, right? Trend lines work, pivot points work, literally everything works. You must find like what kind of makes sense the most for you, because the best strategy is the one that you can identify, and the one that also makes the most sense, and the one that you think holds a higher value for your day-to-day trades. You know, I love the way I trade, because I know with the way I trade, I come in my pre-London time, I come in my London or New York session time, I'm gonna most likely find something interesting. You know, sometimes you gotta be patient. Maybe nothing happens, like yesterday nothing happened in NY, but for the most part in a day I can find at least like 1 or 3 positions. And yeah, I think it would be pretty good positions there, because we're not trading what we think or what should the market do, but we're trading what is the market doing with the way that I'm trading, you know. Because like if the market is pulling down and then aggressively pulling up, that's what it's doing at the moment. So we got to understand why it's doing this. You know, it's potentially squeezing people, trapping people. And then you got to see like, okay, so where are we heading to next? And what kind of confirmation can I get? Shotgun play, breakout play. You know, what is your playbook now telling you in terms of the entry model based off of what is currently happening? Because, you know, the market, we trade the market, what it's currently doing. The market doesn't know this is IFVG. The market doesn't know this is trendline bounce. It doesn't know any of that. It's just moving. It's objective. It's neutral. So when we look in that objective and neutral perspective, we start to say, okay, you know, why is the market doing this? Why is it pulling down so heavily and then overall ripping back up? What have we been doing recently as well before that? And then take our positions. That's why it's important to wait. You know, most of the time, you got to wait for volume. Most of the time, you gotta wait for volume. Trade what the market is saying, not what it should say. Because a lot of the time, you know, we have these like strong biases as well. We have these really strong biases of what should happen. And then it leads us to missing good trades. It leads us to taking too many counter trend trades, and eventually gonna lead to more losses. So for me right now, the market is saying, okay, we just had TFX entry confirmation. Beautiful. It's saying we also just hit a profit-taking market, a profit-taking target right here. Amazing. What it could say is to come down, create a SAT support, accumulate here within the range, and then we'll be prepared for that, because now we're just anticipating this. So it's also a difference when we're gonna say that we're anticipating it rather than almost dictating what it should do, because we also don't want to get married to the bias that we form for ourselves. So right now I am wanting to take some sells, because, you know, we're also currently kind of like slightly moving down, but the daily change is also at a doji. So if you look at the daily candle, it's also not saying much of a direction. It's not saying that we're very bullish right now. I mean, sure, you could look at the previous daily and say, oh, you know, that's a trend, that we're trending down. Or you could even zoom outwards and say that, oh, you know, price is trending down. But you're going to be over analyzing, which is going to lead to analysis paralysis. Analysis paralysis. So we'll wait. We're going to continue to wait until it gives us the hand. It's like when you're playing poker and you're trying to read the telltale signs of people, you know? So the market also has, it's got a poker face, but it also has its own telltale signs. Correct? You should watch this movie. It's called Rounders. Really nice. You're going to learn a lot in terms of trading psychology in poker as well. Watch Rounders, 1990 something. Such an awesome movie. It's got what is it, Matt Damon in it. Such a nice movie. So whenever you got those telltale signs, it's a skill. Poker is a skill. People can make a living playing poker. It's not a gamble, right? If you know what you're doing. So that's a similar situation what's kind of going on here. But you know what they say in poker, right? If you can grind it out, but if you keep just grinding things out, if you keep playing it too safe, then your whole life becomes a grind. So just like anything else, like you gotta know when to take the bigger risks as well. Right? You can't just be having your whole life being a grind. My friend has been full-time online poker player for 2 years. Oh, nice. So awesome. Especially, how does he do it online though? You can't really like see their tells, right? I guess it's slightly different. Can't see the faces. But you see right here, there's no tell, so we just gotta keep dealing the cards. Gotta keep dealing the cards. Gotta keep waiting. Waiting is gonna be your best friend. I think like once we see maybe something a little bit more like this, like a strong push down, that's gonna be one tell, right? It's gonna be one tell there. Or we see like a strong push up. And then hopefully not get baited in. Because you know, sometimes just like in poker as well, they can make like the fake tells to make you think something and then do something else. But I would say like most of the time the market should behave the way it behaves because it's subjective, it's neutral. So whenever you're getting like price moving in a certain direction, the last thing I want to do is stop it from moving in that direction because I can't do that anyway. So it should be wanting to move in that direction. So we're not here to outsmart it, basically. Because the more you're going to outsmart it, the more whips you're going to get. If you think you're going to outsmart the market, that you figured out something that nobody has, then you're setting yourself up for some whips. Because I know that can happen within the journey of a retail trader, is where we think we kind of like figured something out, you know, like a little holy grail or something like that. But most times, like given enough time in the market, you're going to get the ticket. It's going to give you a ticket and tell you time to go back to the drawing board. And a lot of that is just being humble, right? Humbling yourself and just loving the game, loving the honesty of it as well. Like if you watch Rounders, the way Matt Damon played poker as opposed to how his friend played poker, he tried to play a little bit more straight. He liked a straight game. His friend, he liked outsmarting the game. He was always trying to outsmart everybody. And in the end, like, you know, it's not a good ending for him. In the end. It's not a good ending for him. Because he was doing things in a crooked way. So that in the market looks more like you're trying to outsmart it. You know, you're not going to outsmart it. The more you try outsmart it, eventually you get caught. So look at this. You see now volume is starting to come in. Volume is starting to come in. There we go. So we're breaking above now the equal highs. So you see this? It came down. It came to retest basically where those previous entries were. And then moved up again. It came to retest and move up again. Kind of like similar thing that happened over here as well, if you noticed. It came to retest and then move up again. Just the same way here. It came to retest and then move up again. So usually I always say, like, when you have a trade idea, like when I take a buy or sell, for me, in my head, the move is not done unless it hits a profit-taking mark or that it hits the stop loss. Like if price goes up and then comes on and takes out those lows. Because I've seen this happen time and time and time again. There's a good probability of this happening. Because the market moves in waves. It'll always look to shake positions out before having follow-throughs. So at least that's a little bit of a good sign now that we're breaking above the high over here. So we're not seeming to get the accumulation down here. Instead, we might see something slightly different. If you investigate this even further, what you'll notice in there is a potential accumulation breakout. So if you go on the 1 minute, we have another TFX entry model right over here. We got another entry model. Look at that. Did you take it? Were you locked in? Maybe you're not interested in it. That means it wasn't your trade. But there was a move here. But it just shot up about like 40 pips. 40 pips. How's the order flow? Looking pretty decent. We're definitely a lot more bullish than we are bearish at this very moment. Orders are coming in, but very gradually. Not a lot of action. Question is, did you take it? Or did you see it? Or did you anticipate it? That's the important thing. If a candle closes above the range breakout called shotgun, the next candle has no top wick and goes down straight away and hits support resistance line. Basically, do you wait for the flip or take the trade as it hits the support because no top wick and already closed above? Yeah, let me try and visualize. You see, now the thing is, I have to use the visualizing part of my brain to understand all the scenario that you just mentioned over here. We would typically say the best way to gonna like also ask some question is if you got something like this, to send a label chart. You know, so when we got like some kind of a diagram, I think it helps. But let me think here. You know, I gotta now think. If a candle closes above the ranges breakout called a shotgun, okay. Let's take this step by step. So candlestick close above the ranges breakout. So this is shotgun, by the way. This is what the shotgun entry is. So I'm not sure what you mean by ranges breakout. This is a candle closing above. If the next candle has no top wick and goes down straight away and hits the support resistance line. Okay, it doesn't need to hit the support resistance line, but let's say if there's no top wick, right? Absolutely no top wick. Absolutely no top wick. Candlestick comes down. Do you wait for the flip or take the trade as it hits? Oh no, we're gonna wait for the flip. You gotta wait for the confirmation. Price has got to reflip because now it's carrying the bottom wick. And that's going to confirm the momentum as we go in this direction. Like this. Yeah, you'd be better off even like if you still wanted to take the buy, you still got to wait for the reflip. Remember, you're not trying to outsmart it. You're not trying to get a better entry. You're rather trying to get a later entry, but at least an entry that has been confirmed. Because sometimes it can just not move up because there's no range to move up because the previous candle didn't have a top wick and then do something like this. I hope that answers your question. Yeah, but look at this. Now we just already had like another breakout over here. We had a nice juicy little breakout. We got a nice breakout with some nice volume about to come in. So we'll see. We will now see how that New York session pushes. Because if we're truly going to start to move up, if we're going to truly start move up, that means we're going to have to start disrespecting these key levels as well. Because you see, we just broke into like some equal highs right over here, but it's not really showing us that it wants to change direction yet. Maybe unless price starts to break back up above again one more time, like this, and then start creating like some structure like this, then we'll start to see some higher highs being formed. But you see right now we're still creating lower highs. These are like the key levels still being sort of respected. So we're still in that early stage of a potential move to the upside. So I believe with New York we should be waiting Waiting, yeah, let's see. Waiting for it to go down too. Yes. Yeah, I believe we should be looking at something interesting here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna remove all this analysis for now. Let's see. Let's remove this line. All right. So if we're expecting that price is gonna go down, we have this support here, and we got this next support here again. Circle of life. 40 pips, just the same way that it moved up here previously. Correct? We're not reinventing the wheel. We're just learning how it works. There's no ghost in the machine here. There's no algorithms that you're trying to figure out. There's no boogeyman. It doesn't exist. You know what a boogeyman is? A boogeyman is just somebody who has a lot of money. Because people who have a lot of money, they essentially are the market makers. That's all that they do. And you know, how can you expect what that person wants to do? When was the last time that for example, a billionaire told you what they were planning on investing in? When was the last time Warren Buffett sent a signal and said, hey, I'm about to invest in Coca-Cola here at $50. Let's all get in. You know, like they don't do that. You can't assume that you're gonna learn that how the algorithms work and all of these things, because sometimes it's someone with a lot of money who's just gonna pour it in the market and it's gonna move. It's just as simple as that. And that could happen at any time, because this is Wall Street. People have money, you know, and people have their own sort of like game plans, right? So if you ever watch the documentary of how institutions trade, you'll start to understand a bit more that there's no ghost in the machine, right? This is more a game of trickery. So for example, you know, it's also quite mathematical and a lot more complicated. That's why people who work at institutions have like all these degrees, and they're just not a random retail trader off the street, because you have to be able to calculate certain things such as a risk. Not just risk in terms of risk to reward, but the risk it will cost to move the market, to maybe potentially trap another player on the other side of the world, right? To then squeeze him out of the position, because most likely you get him in a liquidity grab. Let's say something like this. You push price down, maybe it doesn't cost as much. So it's worth for you to have like a small losing position here, potentially, to then squeeze him out, because maybe you might trap him in and then kind of like push it up against him, because now you're playing at a much higher level. You're able to take advantage of movements in that case. All right, so you'll see at the end of the day, it becomes very, very organic, very human. So the more you are trying to, at such a position, to outsmart the market, the more money you're going to lose, because you're trying to solve something that doesn't need to be solved, right? So once you truly understand what trading is and the game of trading, you're going to be able to take better trades, and understand that this is a process built on edge. But yeah, let's lock in here a little bit, because I'm expecting New York to open up soon, and I'm expecting volume to come in, and I kind of wanted to take a sell down over here, right? But I don't know, like I'm not feeling too confident yet, but I was anticipating some kind of a sell. Maybe we're gonna come down and clean this range up a little bit more, and you know, kind of like continue to move down bearish, because we've already retraced up there too. So I think we may be getting some sellers start to come in somewhere around here, but I need to see that activity. You see, there's nothing. Look at this, literally nothing here. Look at this small little bubble over here. They're like a Finding Nemo. Finding Nemo swimming in the big ocean over here, you know? I don't think Nemo is gonna be safe. He's not gonna be safe over there. Yeah, a shark might just come out of nowhere and grab him and say, hey, what a little fish like you doing out here? Oh, you trying to outsmart me? All right then. There we go. You see, now Nemo's buddies are coming in. Now it's starting to feel a little safe over here. Yeah. All right, so we may be seeing some potential move here. I'm looking at what is this? I'm looking at a potential liquidity grab situation. Remember, today's FOMC day. The moves are not going to be super obvious because price is overall kind of like trickling. But I'm seeing a potential head and shoulders play right over here. That's that small little liquidity grab situation. But I would love to see a little bit more selling pressure. Because now we just got the New York session here open. So far I've seen two plays play out just by being on the charts. I've seen a TFX shotgun play and I've seen a breakout model both play out. So I'm noticing that we are having moves paying currently at this moment. You're still bullish for you? Yeah, it's still a bit bullish here. Still a little bit bullish here. But I like that 5 range. I like how clean that the 5-minute time frame looks. See, as we start to break below here. It's kind of a ripple effect, head and shoulders. So you might even see volume start to come in here, like a big push. And it's also spiked above. That whole area could be liquidity grab. See, for me, it's still, I'd like to see just a little bit more confluence. So we even potentially have the liquidity grab above here too. Got candlestick about to close. We're at like -37. So it's a bit of like an early entry, although I do see a bit of confluence for the move. Not seeing too many orders jumping in though right now, but I can see why this is gonna play out. But I think I'm gonna wait for at least maybe like a 5-minute, because you see on my right hand side, this is the kind of like what I'm looking at. This is the fake out that I am anticipating right over here. You see how it just faked out above that high, swished up and then swished back down, retested it here by 40.33. It retested by 40.33. This created like this almost head and shoulders type of pattern there. All right, it's looking to break below support so it can come down towards like 40.25. Now just gotta wait so I can see that we're having enough soldiers here. But you see, I'm not seeing soldiers. Where are the soldiers? Where are the soldiers? Too early. Too early. But you know, it could increase at any moment. That's why I'm keeping a close eye on it. Sometimes trading is such a small, you know, some positions, they give such a small window. Sometimes such a small window, and like some other positions, they take time to build up. And like, I mean, you can see it as it's coming into it. It's gonna be pretty straightforward. But like situation like this is what we call a very delicate situation, because it's just about to break, but it's gonna be like an earlier break. It's gonna be an earlier break with like a lower volume, because see, since the New York session opened up, we still haven't had the New York session move. So that's why, you know, gotta be patient. 5 minutes about to close here too. Let's see if we're gonna try and close out support. You got a potential shotgun play on here as the 5 just closed below. It's essentially what happened here previously. And it's happening at the same exact entry for the buys, which is the funny part. The same exact entry for the buyers. But I'm just not seeing enough volume. Not yet. But it's the same thing. It's literally the same thing flipped. Man, I'm not gonna take it, chat. I'm not gonna take it. You can take it if you feel good about it. If you feel good about it, that's your edge. I'm not fully confident about it yet. But if you see an edge, that entry is potentially building up right here. And this is gonna become the new lower high. But I'm not yet seeing it. I'm not yet seeing it. I'm not yet seeing it. But it's gonna be, if anything, this is gonna be a point A right here. If it does end up playing out, this is gonna be where the inception was. As it starts to break the lows. Let me just hold off the trigger a little bit. I'm gonna hold off the trigger a little bit. See if I can get a bit of absorption coming in first. Just a little bit more confidence. It's coming. Yeah, it's coming. It's coming. That's why I say we feel good about it. Maybe you're seeing an edge over here. I just need a little bit more confidence. But like, looks beautiful though. In terms of an entry, like it's like looking very nice. Because you know, remember, we're still meant to test the bottom of this range. So if it melts, I think it's gonna melt like heavy. But I gotta put my trigger. Gotta put my trigger away. But you see, it's looking to calm down, potentially even come and retest those lows. Let's see, kind of hovering a bit here, still kind of respecting that 5-minute support. I'm feeling a little bit of like a shockiness. Until I start to see the sellers really come in, you know, you see what I mean? I feel a little bit of a shockiness somewhere here. Because the New York session just opened up too. So we just had the first 5-minute. It might fake out, it might look to fake out. That's why I'm waiting for a little more confidence. See, as it moves up like this, maybe I can get a bit of absorption. And then see the genuine selling pressure coming in. How many second delay on the live? I think about 7:10. Man, I want to get you. I want to get you. But you're playing a game of cat and mouse over here. The buyers need to hold this level just a bit more so we can see further absorption. Yeah, but you see, the thing is, when it breaks, I feel like when it breaks, the aggression is going to come in at the break. So it will be one of those moves that come with an early entry. Okay, so we're starting to see the selling slightly increase. Selling pressure slightly increasing now. All right, I got stopped out for like 600. I'm seeing the volume is coming in. I got stopped out for like 600, but I'm seeing the volume was coming. You saw how it was building up there for a second? So it's slightly still hesitant. It's slightly still hesitant. Look at the way it pulled up. Slightly still hesitant. So I'm gonna have to keep monitoring just a little bit more. Slightly still hesitant. But almost got it. Almost got it. Almost got it. Almost got it. So orders were coming in quite heavy at that point. But it's slightly hesitant. Man, it's slow. It's still slightly a bit slow. I need to see more orders. I need to see more activity. That's why I said a very delicate situation this is. It's not as obvious. It's not as obvious. I'm not getting in yet. Just not seeing the players coming in. Well, I might miss a move. Yeah, I think it's like one of those moves it shakes out. Oh, okay, now it's increasing. But it's already filled up like 60% of the range, which is the annoying part. It's increasing now. Maybe it drops now, but it's already filled like 60% of the range. It's a shotgun plays from earlier. They still played out nicely here. But it just moves slow. It kind of just move a little bit slow. Not a lot of orders. Such a clean move as well. Very nice. Very nice structure. Same thing that happened here. Remember? Same thing that happened right here is happening here. To the downside. It's going to be looking to target these lows. Yeah, the volume comes at the bottom of the range. That's just funny. I gotta wait. I gotta keep waiting again. Such a clean move. I just want to hold like drawdown or anything, you know? It's coming towards our potential target. Oh wait, I gotta lock in here because I think it may be trying to break. I might be getting that same idea I was talking about earlier. About now we can remove this analysis. We know why it played out. The same idea below here. So I starting to see a little bit more volume. You see now we're getting a little bit more activity. It's what I wanted to see. I wanted to see a lot more orders like that flying in. But what I'm saying is, you see now the range has been filled, right? So what I'm saying is, earlier in the stream we said we're maybe potentially creating a range we may be potentially creating a range down here. Correct? Like this is gonna be that accumulation area right here. It's gonna try break out towards the equal low at the bottom. So I got potential equal low right here. That's why I said like this is such a good sell, because if you get stuck in, you still have that running opportunity. So it retests the bottom. So retest again the bottom of this overall sideways movement right here. I guess that should make sense to y'all. And we're getting FOMC later, so we should be getting a little bit more cleaner volume now and trickling a little bit more into New York session. Man, what is that? It shook me out here at break even. And this is exactly what I want to see as well. Look at the orders flying in. This is exactly what I want to see now. Man, it's fluctuating like crazy. Holy. This is exactly what I want to see. Participants in. Man, insane. I saw like 2,000. Fluctuation got me out. You guys managed to stick in? Trump US strikes. Let's see. Trump US strikes will take place against Iran in response to attacks on US targets in Jordan. Exactly what we want to see. See, we're heading towards the lows right here. Remember, that's what I've been talking about. Pay attention, guys. This is where we're heading towards. That's why I wanted an entry up here. I wanted my confirmations here. Where you see we're only getting the volume starting to come in like right here. As it's starting to break the lows. But now we're having New York session having a move. And I wanted to secure that 2K so bad, but damn, that fluctuation. Let's see, 1,210. All right, so 210 minus 600, divide that. Yeah, so made about 1.22%. Not bad, not bad. Putting me at 3,210. Divide that by 6.42%. Not bad, not bad, not bad, not bad. Very clean move. Very clean move. I had a feeling the volume was coming in at the bottom of the range as well. Yeah, I gotta wear like at least 1K. Let's go. At least 1,210. But damn, I saw 2K. I saw 2K. Как дела там? Я не могу это читать. Я не знаю, как читать русский, но... Если ты пишешь как на английском, но русский, я могу понимать чуть-чуть. Чуть-чуть больше. Now this is a party right here. This is where Nemo's buddies are coming in finally. See this? Nemo's buddies are coming in here. Can finally get the sell. I want to take. I want to get involved. I feel like I'm missing out. I feel like I'm missing out of the party right here. Look at the amount of sellers coming in. We're down negative 1.3 million right now. I feel like a lot more confident because you can see the direction. Right? You see it's a difference. Now you feel a lot more confident because of direction. That's why I say you gotta pay attention, guys. Like, I'm literally telling you everything here. I'm literally showing you everything. And this is how you build confidence, right? Pay attention to the order flow. Pay attention to how the orders are coming in. We're heading down to equal lows. So if you're paying attention, man, like you should have been able to even execute. If you're feeling confident about this, shotgun play here, consolidation breakout here, got another shotgun play here. That's what I was saying. So far, the trades are playing out. I haven't seen a trade not play out yet. Shotgun here, TFX entry model breakout here, another shotgun here. But then I only started getting more confidence in volume from this candle. And then that candle, small loss on this candle. And then here at the lows, as it started to break the lows. But this is now when it became more obvious we're getting selling action, right? We can see it over here. Then I'm like, okay, now the sell is in. Now we're getting the direction. That started building up as well. 1 million. They're heading towards targets right now. We're in distribution. That's why I'm still thinking about hitting a sell, but they're not creating structure. I don't think it's going to create structure for another position because there's way too many orders flying in right now. So you have to be a bit more impulsive, but it's heading towards the equal lows down there. The lifestyle. Beautiful. That's why I said, man, like these sellers up here, they got like such a nice entry. They didn't even have that much drawdown. It's just they just did not have the overall direction yet, like in terms of the order flow side. Because remember, order flow, like an indicator, it can be a lagging indicator sometimes. That's why I said, like, man, they're getting the entry right here. They're coming towards the equal lows, right? You know, the first have the range fill here, and then once it breaks those that range fill, clean range down towards like 40.25, they still have this overall structure to come and retest as a like 40.11. So that's also how you acclimatize yourself to holding runners. You kind of see, you visualize how price can head, what levels you need to be very cautious. Like we got a level here by 40.25, and the sort of potential it has to, based off the overall market condition, to keep moving. Nice. This all TFX concepts. You know, the sooner you lock in, the sooner you understand this, now you're gonna see it differently. You're gonna start to see a lot more of the it's quite simple, but you're gonna see a lot more of the potential. So like this morning's trade, like it's a different situation than what we have here. Well, if this holds a lot more weight for like a really good bomber clot trade.
Bomber clot.
This one, we all know, like maybe till there. Because that's in the middle of the range. If you look at this whole area here, that trade is happening in the middle of the range. Considering TP now, man, secure something. Secure something. You're like 80%. You're already heading towards the equal lows. Let's get something out the table. I see we're still getting beautiful activity here as well at the moment. 1.6 mil. I got it in at 40.31.35. 40.31.45. Oh, you took it early inside the range before it started breaking out. You know, the real smoking gun was this candle right over here as it came down to create a new lower low. That's the one that kind of gave it away, and then still being respected by that 8 SMA. I could have gotten stuck in, I think, but I think because like I'm trying to always try and lose like 1%. So if I get more breathing room, either of these positions would have been perfect. Break here, and then this break here. $2 mil. Nice setup, Enzo. Nice, nice. What time is news coming out? 2 p.m. Eastern. So we got plenty of time. See this? It's only 8:26. We don't have anything at 8:30. We typically gonna have news at 8:30. But we don't got news until 2 p.m. So if the 5 minutes should close below and there should be clean range on the 15 and 30 minute for a sell. I would say with a clean range, most of the time I like to see it on the 5 minute. Right? So this one is like a lot nicer. But if, you know, on a day like this, you have so many levels of support because it's like trickly because of FOMC that we're going to have. Right? So you might have to investigate the higher time frames to see where that clean range is. So sometimes you might see it on the 15, the 30, or even the 1 hour. Right? So that's why it's important to understand overall market structure. Because you see, in a situation like this, we don't have really much clean range beyond these lows. It's a little bit choppy. Maybe you got like a smaller level right here, which is also nice. It's about 53 pips from here to here. That's why, you know, with volume coming in and also with direction, I took another entry somewhere here. Somewhere around here. But there's not really... You know, the thing that I'm mainly looking at for this specific day, because every day is going to be slightly different, but we want to see the clean ranges like this. You see, just the way that this was mirrored like this here, it was the same way that was mirrored down, yin and yang. That's how I was saying, like, man, this had so much potential, so much. I think the only way I could do it is if I gave a bit more breathing room. My trade, like even like 16 pips, and then just let it rock. Or just be a little bit more aggressive and just accept the pullbacks as we're starting to get directioning. Because remember, I'm not trying to figure out the market. Yeah, trade what the market is saying, not what it should say. So for me, once I get that confirmation, it's much more straightforward. But yeah, what else I'm looking at here especially is just this. More than just a clean range is the market condition. What is it saying right now? It's saying we're moving sideways. So that means if we just tap the highs, we're most likely coming down to tap the lows. You know, if delta is negative 1 million plus and we're seeing orders flying in, what's the probability you take a sell and it doesn't play out? It's much lower. It's much, much lower. What's the probability you take a buy here and it plays out? Remember, trading is all about probabilities, right? What's the probability a buy here would have played out? Much, much lower. But those clean ranges definitely going to act like breadcrumbs, right? But you see, in this situation, we don't really need it because we can see the market condition. It's just going to be the same way. On some days, you will see a trade or the market moving, let's say, after FOMC, after today. Watch the market tomorrow morning, right? Watch the market. After post-FOMC days, most of the time, pre-London, you're going to see price already going to be moving bullish. pre-launch. Maybe it's going to be up like 1%, or maybe it's going to be moving down. It's going to be moving down like 1% plus. At that point, what is it that you're trading? It doesn't matter there's no clean range on the left-hand side, because guess what? You got direction. Just the same way I got direction right here and I made some money. It's the same way that the market's going to create me direction tomorrow after this FOMC event, and I'm going to make some money. Because once I see the market participants come in, I'm going with them. I'm swimming with the fishes, right? I don't want to be finding Nemo in the middle of the ocean here and be the OD order. But if all the fishes are flying in a certain direction, man, I'm flying with them. So that's why I said you will not avoid learning how to trade. If you think that there's a shortcut here and you're trying to find a shortcut, man, you're not going to find it. But you see, the beautiful thing is once you realize that and actually be part of the squad. Look at this. Be part of the squad and understand what it is that you're actually doing here. Then you're going to have a much easier time because you hold yourself more accountable for your actions. All right. So if you take like a buy here and it moves down, knowing this information on this stream that you're on right now, and you have access to this information and you get that result you didn't want, you can only be blaming yourself until you make the right steps to become a good trader. Because there's only so much blame that you can put on the market, on the day, on whoever, until you start to take accountability. So that's why I stopped trying to outsmart the market and looking for ways to get more information about where the market wants to go. And if it's a win or a loss, at least I can say that I was part of the move with the highest probability based off the information that I have. You see, and then we get a question like this. Look at this. Someone now asks, we buy now. So what category are we putting you in, sir? You need the whip category. You still need a few more whips. Trump speaks now, or I'm wrong? I think we might have had some news. I think Momar here posted US strikes will take place against Iran in response to attackers on US targets in Jordan. That's why I said watch out for that daily and the quarterly. Once we start to break out of this accumulation, there's a high chance we're about to go in a bear market on gold. Once we start cracking below these lows, there's a high chance we're about to get into a bear market. How can you get that order flow chart? It's called EXO charts. EXO. EXO. Yeah, Vloon. I think the best way is to send in the charts. Like go when you take your trades, the best way is to take a trade, Vloon, and then label the chart like this, right? And then send it into the mentorship, channel, the private channel, right? Label your charts like this, and then I will be able to know, because there's a difference between someone just watching a video and saying they watched it to someone watching a video trying to understand what's been said in the video. Because a lot of the time what happens is with trading information, people just watch like Netflix, they just kind of watch it, but not trying to understand. So if you send me label charts like this of the position you're taking, then I can refine you better. It's a process. That's why Steve Harvey says God is processing you. Whenever you're trying to learn something or you're trying to break into something, God is processing you. And you got to trust the process and keep going in that direction. Right? But if there's no process, there's nothing. You can't put air into a microwave and expect something to come out of it. I don't think life has ever worked like that. It's the same reason that you're gonna still have people who are millionaires or billionaires. They still work. They still need to provide value. right? Because I've understood like it's the process which is the most important. It's not the result. Focus on the process and the result follows. It becomes a byproduct. So send in charts, send in label charts. Because I think that the way I explained everything here, and if you genuinely comprehend TFX concepts, it should be so clean, so straightforward. This is so straightforward to me. You see now? Look at this. We're at the equal lows. Why are we at the equal lows? Why are we bouncing there? So straightforward. Look at that. Look at how nicely that I drew everything here. Resistance, support. Where are we most likely going to be heading towards? The lower lows we've been forming right here as price is coming down. The small little warm-up plays that we talked about over here. To reading order flow and NY open volume to catch moves. I think that was very nice. Oh, how come the live news on Discord doesn't update anymore? Oh yeah, I gotta look at this. I gotta look at that. See, that 5 minute head and shoulders looks good for a sell. I think the sell already happened here. See, Kevja. That was a head and shoulder right there. That was the initial one. Wait, why did it spike that? Did it actually spike that high? Let me see on the 1 minute. Oh, you got a tighter stop. Ah. I thought you were just using the big stops. Maybe for a slightly tighter one. Then re-break or re-entry. Nice. Yeah, here you can see that head and shoulders better. Here, and here. There's that liquidity grab above. So you see, man, like when you send in a chart like this, I can tell. I can genuinely tell where you are in your understanding of everything that's going on. And what is your probability of even breaking out of a break-even, potentially. You know, like, because I know Kevja for a fact is catching the same trades even during that pre-London time. And it's super nice to see. And he's not even part of the mentorship. You know, he's not even part of the mentorship, but this guy is marking it out properly here, which is always good to see. This is good to see because I genuinely see the effort that's been put into something. Like I understand this straight off the bat. It's a bit of an early entry. This was the one that happened earlier that he took. There's a second one. There's a second one. Oh, when was this? Oh no, this was yesterday. Oh damn, man! It looks so similar to the one that just happened right over here. I thought it was this that you took. Man, you see, awesome. I think it was that one that you took. That's why I was like, maybe you could have come in a bit later, up over here. Very nice, man. You just keep going like this. Trust me, it's gonna be amazing. Let's see, pull, fake out, little fake out, pull back, in and out. Little break of a small accumulation here. I see you got a liquidity grab confluence below the lows. A break and exit. Makes sense, makes sense. Good start of the day, in and out. See a little breakout here. I'm not sure what time frame this is, but it looks like this zone is trying to break away from a little bit of drawdown. Amazing. Yeah, it's so nice to see these charts break below the lows. You see this? Man, very clean. Break below lows and wicks, avoid the fakes. Beautiful. Volume came in. New York market opening, expecting high volume. Look at that. Look at that. Amazing. Amazing. That's what we pretty much did here today. New York market opening, expecting high volume. And looking for some sells when you get confirmations. It's okay to come in later, but as long as the direction has been confirmed. Alright, that's fine. It's not about getting the perfect entry. It's about getting an entry which gives you confidence. Look at this. Amazing. I think this on the 15 minute, this is clean range on the 15 minute over here. You see that direction that the market already gave him? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 5-minute candlesticks back to back. So what's the probability that price is going to sell? As opposed to him taking a buy and price going up. They got a higher probability here. And I think on the 15 minute, this is clean traffic. Or like on a higher time frame, I feel like this might be a bit cleaner. 15. Yeah, very nice. But there's also a breakout that came in a bit earlier. You could have gotten stuck in for a beautiful runner here. Price is starting to shoot above. But yeah, okay, so I see it here. 15-minute sell zone, exactly. You see this? Look at this. Who will the universe reward? Who do you think that the universe is going to reward? This guy putting in the work? Or another guy not putting in the work? You see this? It's the same thing that I did this morning. 15-minute target range right here by 40.46. 15-minute sell zone, clean traffic. Very simple. That's why I love trading, because trading is just one of those things that, like, you can achieve it if you want. If you want it bad enough, you're going to get it. Nice shotgun play to the downside. Nice to see. Boom, clean range. And we got bomba clot as well.
Bomba clot.
So the most important thing about this setup here, I would take away from it. If you see that how price run on this move is because of the market condition that you're currently in. So always pay attention to this. You know, sometimes take a step back and say, you know, if you wanted to hold a runner, that's where it's heading down to. You see this? Look at that reaction. It's not an accident, chat. It's not an accident. It's TFX concepts. But you see, every day, this is why it's so important to come into streams. Because every day, we're going to have a different type of a market condition that we're going to trade. You know, like today, we had this very specific type of a way to catch trades. And it's always going to be like every day, we're going to have a different market condition. And the more of these samples that you can get in and actually journal for yourself, you start to realize like these patterns are quite repetitive. So this day has already happened. I've done this day hundreds of times. I've been trading for going to 7 years now. Correct? I've done this day hundreds of times. This is nothing unique. We've been here before. We've done this already. You know, because the market, it can only do so much. Right? But if you're not journaling and you're not seeing those sample sizes, it always seems like you overanalyze and you can never get a grip on the market. So yeah, I think it's pretty good here. I think it was pretty good. Now we gotta wait for FOMC. And tomorrow we're gonna trade FOMC volume. Not today, because today people are gonna get faked out. We might see volume, yes. We might see potential moves. But there's a chance that there'll be a lot more whiplash. And that's gonna all calm down by tomorrow morning. By tomorrow pre-London, all that volume is gonna come down. That's where I come in. Because once it comes down and once direction starts to come back in, that's where I come in. So we can avoid the unnecessary volatility. But man, are we flirting with 4,000 psychological. Look at that. Once we take out these equal lows, there's a lot of liquidity sitting underneath these levels. So once we take out those levels, we're heading down maybe like 90 pips to 4K over there. But we gotta break these lows. So I believe once we start breaking below 4010, curtains. You should be seeing a bit more of a push. But right now, since the market condition is just sideways, I think we can expect on the next hourly candlestick, when it opens, that it's gonna maybe be more bullish to try and correct some of this previous range over here and go up towards like 40.33. So that's what I'm anticipating in like 15 minutes. And just play the range. That's the sandbox. That's what you gotta play today. See, that is like a 430 pip range. So let's start creating like some higher highs, just like we're creating lower highs here. We'll start seeing that direction flow back up to 40, 47 equal highs. Next setup. What's next, TP? Next setup? I'll tell you the next setup. But you see, with the next setup, you can't take a buy yet. Until this hourly candle here closes, you can't take a buy yet because there's still too much selling pressure to get executed for a buy. You'd rather look for a sell as it even retraces up to come back down. So I think the next setup would be coming in here in like about most likely 10 minutes because it's only like 10 minutes before the new hourly open. And in my pants. Is a buy setup coming? Yes. I think gold will drop to 3,600 in the near future. What's your take on that? Yeah, 3,300. I'm not sure why this keeps coming up here. Oh, we got it on the months too. I think gold's coming to 33. You said 36? 35, 33. I would say like 35 would be more even. Would be more rounded at 35, but I see that 33 level because we have support here, and that's gonna be the full range completed. Because once we hit 33, price has gotta like play around here a bit. It's most likely gonna hold this area because this is the area where orders came out of, where price shot up from. So it's most likely gonna hold that for a bit before needing to or wanting to even break down. Because you know, gold is a safe haven; it always gonna go up. So I believe this level is they're gonna try and hold like really strong this level, and then we'll see maybe price ought to go up. But that's the thing, like how quick can that happen? Because we're heading to August, we're having interest rate hikes on the US dollar. That's first quarter. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So in this quarter, this quarter, I think what we could see is maybe somewhere around 36, yeah, and maybe near future around like maybe 36 area, like somewhere around here for this quarter. And then for, you know, because the market uses time, right, to its advantage. So for the last quarter, October, November, December, maybe then we can see further rate hikes and keep heading down towards like these levels, like 3,300 by Christmas. We should be somewhere down over here by Christmas. So if you still haven't saved up enough money for a PlayStation 5 to buy Grand Theft Auto 6, you're gonna have a lot of time here. You're gonna have a lot of time here on some gold short positions. And I remember, you know, the day I took trading seriously was the day I sold my PlayStation. Man, you know, like when somebody sells his PlayStation, they're gonna hit rock bottom and say that no more distractions, I gotta change something. But ever since that day, can you imagine? I never bought another PlayStation. I never bought a console. I still don't have a console. Ever since the day I sold my PlayStation. And I sold it to some guy, and I sold it with like Days Gone, if you know that game. It's like a zombie game, Days Gone. Man, I remember that day. I hit rock bottom. I was like, this is it. I gotta get serious with my life now. And I only gonna buy one for GTA 6. Because I think it's gonna be pretty nice there. I'm gonna play I'm gonna have to buy one for GTA 6. I'll get the Pro. Just for GTA 6. Only that. So then we can meet up there and then play it together, and we can talk about trading at the same time. And there's gonna be, well, they say there's gonna be a lot of opportunity for making money on that game too. So we'll see. I'm sure we're gonna have like some poly market events potentially with GTA 6. But if you notice, the volume here is slightly, it's gonna hold because we only have 7-8 minutes until the new hourly opens. So we're most likely gonna keep holding for a little bit. And then it's gonna set up again. Gold to 0. I still can't believe I saw 2K. It's already set up for the next, what do we call, like the stage has been set. Stage has been set here. Stage has been set for the next move. I think it might gonna be looking at breaking some lows here. Not like 60 pips to the downside to retest the equal lows. Let's put this here, equal lows. This function. The stage has been set. What do y'all think? Buy, sell? Let me know what you think in the comments. Buy, sell, buy, sell. I'm still like anticipating maybe a sell. I think the next candle is gonna open and then, but I don't know. We gotta see because we just tapped the equal lows. 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 Here's a new hourly open in about like 4 more minutes though. Because with they're tapping the equal lows, we should be like, now we're getting these like minor higher highs being formed. We got a higher high here. Up here, we got another higher high here. Price moving up. It's gonna be most likely looking to target back above here. You see this? It's probably gonna be heading back to like the highs by like 40, 46. Further sells. I think it's sell. I'm stuck in a sell from 40.15. Hopefully will turn in my favor and go down. Where's that? 40.15? Ooh, man, why'd you wait all the way down here? Was that like because of, you know, that FOMO? It hits traders sometimes so late. I don't know. Something about our mentality as traders, especially when, like, this used to happen to me a lot in year one, where like a whole bloody move could move like this, and for some reason I would just find myself down here, and I don't know why. Like, looking back at it, I don't know why. And usually by the time it gets to that point, I'm not even executing based off the confirmations. I'm executing based off my emotions. It used to happen to me so often. Like, a whole move can come down like this and I'll get in like there. And then, you know, after that happens, usually what follows next is more over trading and eventually just losing more than I want. Because you see, typically what will happen like after a big move is like market will slow down for a bit. It will slow, especially while it's waiting for a higher time frame candle to open. It will tend to slow down for a bit. But then you end up being a bit more aggressive with your plays and saying, okay, you know, I think there's volume in here. You take a buy straight to stop loss. Until you realize how that volume tends to come in. It doesn't always come in like back to back. You see, now it's quiet again. Now it's finding Nemo. Now it's finding Nemo again. And that process will repeat over and over and over. FOMO is real. But you see, it's nice that there's been activity. So far with an NY, even though we have FOMC, it's no longer doing this. You see this, like low activity here, a lot more jaggedness here, a lot more jaggedness here. But now it's starting to bleed and open up. It's starting to breathe. FOMO, fear missing out. We're still stuck at the trade. You done for the day? Nice one, Benji. Very good. Sell from 40.24. There's a chance with the new hourly you see that the market is oh wow, man, look at this activity here. It's getting the breakout. It's getting the breakout. Look, buyers are coming back in. We're at 580 because we're going to be moving up now. Stage has been set. The breakout actually came a bit early by like 40.23. But it was too early by 40.23. Direction has shifted now. We're moving up. We're moving up to fill the range. Oops. Oh man, got stopped. I tried to give a buy chance over here. But because I knew I got in a bit late, because the breakout came in here and already pushed up like 27 pips. But I like the orders though. I like the order flow on there too. Let's see on the 5 minute. There was a shotgun play that happened earlier as well. Here. But it was happening, I think, on the previous hourly. Like the hour that was pulling up, it was triggering the shotgun play earlier. So you see we got a shotgun play right here. And a breakout as well at the same time. And then when it pushed here, the order flow had been a bit more aggressive, but it was coming towards the tail end of these moves. Because the shotgun play had already done like 40 pips. And the breakout did around 30 pips. So most likely gonna come to, you know, profit taking basically. The only time that we're seeing maybe a retest of the equal lows is if that becomes like one fat liquidity grab right here, and then it comes to take out these lows by 40.18. Essentially what that's going to look like again is a potential shotgun here. So then you got LG liquidity grab above here, and you see we're trading not what we feel, we're looking and trading what we see that the market is doing. But essentially it did pay out the buyers too. The buyers did get paid out. It's not like they got faked out. I think if you're being greedy, then you kind of get like a fake out. But this could also just be a retest. A potential retest of previous entries. Because remember, we got like buyers over here that the market may not want to leave in profit for too long. We got about like 16 seconds. And then it's going to have some clean range back down to that low. I mean, so far, it feels that the market has been actually respecting all these plays. I've seen multiple entries play out already today. So that would be another option right here. It doesn't seem like there's a shock in the water too. And you just got volume coming. Can I get 1,000? Just 1,000, Goldie. That's all I'm asking for. Oh, man. But it wants to come down. I've been noticing the plays, they've been really good, but when you're aggressive with the stops, you keep getting stopped out. But so far, man, like everything's been playing out here. It's a pretty good day. I like this little setup here. Made a little bit of money on that, like 80 bucks. I got like 80 bucks, but it should be still moving down. We should be targeting, what is that? 4013. 4013 for the sells. Yeah, I mean Momar called it here. Liquidity grab, confluence, boom, shotgun play again to the downside. Very clean, really nice. These are all the plays of the shotguns that have been playing out here. You got one here, you got one right here, and then you got the other one right here right now. This one. And the range for this one was about like 52 pips. Still heading to the downside. Also this one. Let's not forget this one too. This one also played out. That one did about a, let's see, 41 pips. This one, 208. This one, like 32. This one is still in motion. But it just hit a profit-taking mark there, like around 20 pips. But it still got a little bit more range to move down. Like about 32 more pips to the downside. Yeah, I think it was pretty good. Kind of got me there to break even here. So this is pre-FOMC. Pre-FOMC volume. And the closer we get to FOMC, man, it's going to get volatile, I feel. But we still have a lot of time. 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2. 5 more hours. 5 more hours until FOMC. 5 more hours until FOMC. So anyway, let me see how much I'm up here. I keep getting stopped at break even or small loss there for these other trades. But I'm up 6.56. It's probably gonna melt. Watch it melt. Let's see on the 1 minute. Is it resetting? No. Orders building. Look at the cluster right here. Pay attention to this. Look at the way it's clustering up. Pay attention to that. Pay attention to this right here. So the motion of the ocean. Negative 450k on Delta. Hey Jonathan, thank you for the sub, man. Welcome to the squad. Vishu, remember me or forgot? Of course I know you. Of course I remember you. I think we're still dumping. Yes. It looks like it wants to retest the equal lows. Asking like that. Can we enter now at TP at 40.13? I would wait. If this was to increase a little bit more and you see a more aggressive players coming back in, then you could get in. But the maybe like the reflip and break of these lows right over here. Reflip and break, you have like only 22 more pips. So, but that would be the only case that if you're looking for a trade like right now, that would be the trade. Because right now it's in a distribution phase. I don't think it's going to give a re-entry structure. You're most likely not getting the re-entry structure, so it's going to be right here. But you see that you got to be aggressive, right? You have to be aggressive with your management. Because the room is on like 20 more pips. So right here it's creating a top wick. You see this a 5-minute candle that just opened. 5-minute candle that just opened. It's creating a top wick. And usually when a candle reflips, then you should be seeing momentum starting to come back in. But you see right now the buyer aggression is starting to step back in. We're losing steam on Delta. Look at Delta flipping here. So we want now to see a little bit more selling aggression come in here, and you're gonna see the orders build up, and then it's gonna be a little bit better. Then you can take advantage of that volume. And yes, you are trading in a high volume time here. But you gotta use that volume to your advantage by being able to break even. Although it sucks sometimes getting a few break evens here and there, but if you're trying to push it, that's what I would do. That's exactly what I would do. Because that hourly is also still fresh. Hourly is still fresh. Now you're going to see volume as it pops through that level. You're going to see it push. Although Delta is a little bit weak. It's at 50k. Damn, where the sellers? Negative 20. Oh man, it's not enough commitment. Negative 24, negative 28. It's not enough commitment. $8.7. It could just be building up as well, because if we're at the equal lows and it doesn't keep pushing through this zone here, this could be the first high that's been formed. If it creates a support to go back up like this to retest the equal highs. Because you see, like, the thing is, if we're planning on bleeding, there's so much liquidity sitting underneath this levels over here by 40.11. There's so much liquidity sitting underneath here. So it's both sides gonna like push heavily. It's gonna look to push. If it wants to come down, it's gonna look to push heavily, even through spiking through these levels. Even if it's just like a liquidity grab, it might do something like try and push like this. And then leave another rejection wick down here. As we kind of like overall hold the range for FOMC. But at least have like a deeper spike through that level. That's if it decides to keep coming down. Or if there's like some sell confirmation here. You see right now the sellers are not as aggressive as we're approaching that 5-minute support. All right, now it came in, but you see, it already came in after the push. So the seller just keyed in positions here and it had like a small push. But we like to see that volume and that decision come in first. Yana, Henry, thank you for the sub. Welcome to the squad. Short stuff, welcome to the squad. So that extra chart is advanced or can tell the advanced orders. You see, the thing is like it can't tell the future. Because the thing, if there's no orders coming in right now, it can't tell you when that the order is gonna come in. Because whenever whoever decides to put the order in, and if it's like a big enough order, that's gonna happen when he does it. So it can't tell you the future. So the thing is like the best way to use it is gonna be like if we can already see them coming in and piling on top of each other. So it can't tell the advance orders. Because I just sell, it can hold for the lever, hold 5 minutes. Chems, welcome to the squad. What's my view on FOMC? Volume for now, as we come to FOMC, is going to get a lot more choppy. And no real direction, but overall bearish. You know, it's at no change currently, the FOMC. Here. It's at no change, so no direction. No direction, but the overall direction on gold is currently bearish. So maybe more bearish today, if anything, and tomorrow. But for September, if you ask me, in September, one day after my birthday over here, I'm going to tell you that FOMC is going to be bullish for the dollar. And I can tell you with confidence that we're looking more for buys. Because I can only tell you what the market is saying, not what it should say. That's all that I can tell you. Because remember, like we're not here to trade our opinions, we're here to trade the market. It has nothing to do with how I feel or how you feel. Because money doesn't have any emotion, right? If your buddy's making money during the summer selling ice cream and you want to try and make money selling hotcakes and he's making more money than you, you're not going to sit there and play a victim and say, oh, why am I not making any sales? Why is he always doing so much better than me? No, you're going to look at him and say, what is he doing to make this money? And then you're going to replicate that. And who knows, maybe you're going to make money too. You're going to start selling that ice cream too. So money has no emotion. If something is working, it's working. If it's not broken, don't fix it. And let me tell you something. The market is not broken. It does exactly, most of the time, what I think that it should do. You see here, like how many examples have we shown already here today? How many examples? You got like just in this time span here. 1, 2, 3 shotgun plays. All play out. The only reason for me is like the candle was moving a bit like this. But if you got like just a normal stop loss, then beautiful. Give me something like this, just like a nice little 16 pip stop loss right here. Nice little 16 here, nice little 16 here, all being respected. All being respected. Yeah, maybe the gold might go below 4K today. It just might, because you see, the thing is, if we start to break this accumulation, which I think is just waiting for FOMC to do so, I think any breaks below here, you might get a few spikes, right? Like price gonna spike, they give like some nice pips and then pull back up. But as FOMC is coming about, I think those spikes are gonna be more genuine below 4K. That's why I would pay real close attention to setups that are coming in below here. Because trust me, like once it start breaking these wicks, we should be seeing some volume coming. And it might be what it's gearing up for, but we just gotta wait and see because the equal lows are still being respected. You can see equal low here, another equal low here. They're still being respected. But the idea is like when price does intend to come down here, you're going to be ready for it when it starts to break those lows because you kind of like anticipated the sell and you kind of also understand why a buy could play out. But let me explain to you something. Like if you look at price here at this current moment, the stage has been once again set for a move. So if you look at the order flow, no real confidence currently right now. It's still like holding neutral. But essentially the stage has been set again right over here. So what are we going to do? You know, we've seen, and trading is always about the amount of trades that you take, like not just one trade, but this in 50 trades. How you see it playing out? How do you see it play out? Is it going to be profitable in 50 trades? See, orders are starting to come in as well. And you're getting the break. 233k. So it's in the break right now. Buyers have been triggered. And price is going to be looking to move up. It's going to be looking to move up to fill this range over here. Buyers have been triggered. Because now we're seeing bullish aggression. We're no longer seeing, actually like the entry was here. The break was right here. Now we're seeing buyers more involved, 156k. So it's just like, what's the probability that it moves up, correct? That's all that it is. And I'm going to secure this. Simple, man. TFX concepts. Like, I can sit here and show you these examples back to back to back. If you don't want to actually understand them, I can't force you. I cannot force you to understand these concepts. I can't force you. I can't force you. All I can do is give you the information, and you have to use that information. Every trader has their own edge. This is my edge. This is my edge. I worked very hard for this edge. You know, I can't force you. I can't force you. I can't force you, chat. I can only show it to you. I can only point it out to you. If you don't want to take it, don't take it. If you want to take it, take it. Simple. TFX concepts. Look at the label charts in the WAP database. Look at the 4-day bootcamp. Look at the setups. Put two and two together and see how can I use this to my advantage at a high volume time. This is not made up. We've done this already. We do this literally daily. You can see the setups. You can see the similarities between all my setups. It's not random. I don't get lucky. Luck doesn't exist. Luck does not exist. Up 9.30%. And all that you got to do is wait, man. Just wait for the entry confirmation and take it. And use... Now, okay, now we're getting absorption. This is quite interesting here. Now we got a bit of absorption as price moved up from the buyers. That actually must have flipped really quickly there. Because you're going to see maybe a potential sell coming in over here. Because the price is moving up, but delta is increasing bearish. That's absorption. I wonder when that flipped. Let me see. When did that flip? Gotta go back in the stream. When did that... Yeah, because Delta was at... $300. Oh, we held like around 299. 300. We cracked 300. 250. 200. Started flipping when this candlestick flipped back down. So it's doing a bit of absorption up there. Do you still trade futures? No. But gold and futures is gonna move the same. That was in the chat. But you see, the thing is here, we're approaching equal lows. That's why I'm anticipating that price is going to start creating some highs here soon. If it breaks above this area. And that's going to be looking to target back above the highs. The equal highs at the top of the 5-minute range. But you see, that's like important over here. It's important what we're going to do here. But I feel like if we're following basic market structure, price should technically be going up. Correct? It should technically be going towards like 40, 47. Because we're just ranging and we hit the lows. But you see, essentially, we have clean traffic, even on the 1 minute, towards, what is this? Towards 40.25. Oh my days, look at that. Negative 800K. I think that was absorption. I don't know why it's trying to do that, but for sure, the buyers are going to need to create a new higher high above 40.25. For us to keep respecting the equal lows so it can move up to retest the equal highs. Because what I'm noticing is something very interesting with the order flow. It's moving up and this is moving down. So, you know, like greedy buyers within these areas over here, they're going to get wiped out potentially. They're gonna get wiped out. Me. Can you explain it though? I think I am. I mean, I'm trying my best. I don't know how much more that you want to hear. Chat, am I not a good teacher? I'm seriously trying my best. I'm explaining everything. I'm explaining literally everything. You see the absorption coming in here? Look at this. That's why I said this is very suspicious. Like how it moved up like that. How it moved up like that. And then this was increasing bearish. I saw that they're going to get whacked. That was absorption. They're going to get whips. Those buyers. And what else do you notice, chat? Let me see if anyone going to get this. Let me see if anyone's going to get this right here. I try my best. But it takes time for you to see the market in a certain concept until you put in the work. What do you notice? Quick, quick, quick. What do you notice? What do you notice? What do you notice? Quick. Gotta think fast. Head and shoulders? Yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely. Definitely. But what else? Because, you know, I when I take my position, I don't want to ask, like, I don't want to hear so many times the questions. I want to see the proactiveness. Look at this. What are you noticing here? Clean range. All right, so we got order flow 1, which is building here. Crazy. Secondly, we have this range right over here, which is forming. It's forming a breakout right here soon. It's forming a breakout. Equal highs. Yeah, we got equal highs, and we're about to create a support. It would be best if we create the support right here. So it's going to balance out this level. We're going to balance this level out. See, this is perfect. It should close the support. Right? After it closes out support, why do you think we're doing that right there? We're trying to create volume to break the equal lows down over here. Trading is like, if you watch the Odyssey or whatever, like chess, it's like you know, it's like the sellers are getting ready for war. So they're gonna create support here. The next candle is gonna break these equal lows. That's what it wants to do. It wants to create structure over here, so it can have some kind of volume to break through those levels. But you know, the sellers still need to get through those wicks. They still will need to break below these lows. But you see, that's what it's doing. False support on the 1 minute time frame to have the next candle start breaking below. It's because it's at a key level right now. It's at the equal lows. We're at the bottom of the range, mind you. Right? Look at this. We're at the bottom of the range. Correct? We're at the bottom of the range. We're at the bottom of the range. It's going to need some kind of new ammunition to get through those levels. And the ammunition that it's going to use is going to be consolidation. Right over here. So let's remove all of this analysis for now. And it's going to use this as ammunition right over here to get through those lows. That's what it's going to do. And preferably that it breaks even on the next 1 minute. You see this 1 minute? This 1 minute preferably it breaks to confirm that type of aggression in the market. Correct? That's what it's trying to do. This is literally the same tricks, but you see it's still not yet broken the lows. But it's going to be looking at those equal lows. The buyers are trying to kick them up. You see this? The buyers are trying to kick them up because they know they're going to be allowing the Trojan horse into the castle if they allow the sellers to break below 4,009. It opens the floodgates towards potentially 4K psychological. Correct? It's at the PDL. You see, that's why they're really going to try and protect that level. But you're going to see sellers come in. Truly come in below here. You see, the buyers are a bit fearful. So they kind of like got a big order in to push it up. But look at this activity here. Look at this activity here. So when you see, when price finally breaks through that level and you see like a big move, a big bumper clot, you're gonna know exactly why that happened now. Because that's gonna be that key level. Appreciate your time and knowledge. Thank you, Tony. But you see that the issue is sometimes, like whenever we're at a point A, you have to take advantage of the point A. You know, if things line up, you can't always be waiting so long. And then after moves like this, then you start asking when to sell. It doesn't work like that. Because this is the point A right here. So it's usually only after the move that people start looking for entries, which it's good in some cases, but not when things are lining up like this. Because I waited for my move here a little bit longer because the order hadn't completely lined up for me, but you can still see even coming in late, we had a lot more room towards the equal lows and we had the volume increase here as well. But you see here, the volume is already increased. We're already at negative 600, although the buyers are they're trying to protect this range. That's why we're seeing it coming from like negative 800 to like negative 500 and lower and lower and lower. Because the buyers are trying to protect this level. But I think that spike is gonna be it's gonna be an aggressive spike. That's what I actually kind of would like to see a little bit here on stream before I head out. Because I know that spike is gonna be an aggressive spike. Below these lows, holy, look how many times we've been respecting them. Here, the whole time up until this point, look at that. So the moment we get a breakthrough that level, man, you're gonna see some fireworks. We're gonna get the magic tool over here, and then you're gonna see some more fireworks. So sell, yeah, I mean like only below these lows, you're gonna have some more selling. Right here. Help me fund 100? No, I'm giving you something even better. Something that you'll be funding your whole life. Where can I find the tool to trade liquidity? Exo charts. Alright, chat, we got fireworks. Let's label this here. Fireworks below. This is what? 4,008. Fireworks below 4,008. They're gonna be looking at this. It's like about, I'm gonna like 86 pips to 4,000. Let's see if the 1 hour can actually make the move. Holy! Man, look at it from the 1 hour perspective. Yeah, once we take out those wicks, it's curtains. Wow, man, we got a waterfall here. We got a waterfall.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
Who's taking that sell? We're about to get a waterfall here. Sup, Extremer? We're about to get a waterfall. Took Naz now, I feel good. Man, look at this. Look at the hourly. It's about to break this range. We got resistance, we got support. It's gonna distribute down to like 4K, I think. I hope it doesn't trickle down because I can already see like it almost hesitated here because the buyers came in a bit more. So I hope it doesn't do some stupid trickle like this. But we're still trading in a high volume time, so the stage has been set. And you can see we're down negative 2.5 million. Look at the amount of activity here, is ridiculous. This thing is about to bleed. It's about to bleed, chat. Don't be surprised for a spike. Don't be surprised for a spike. But I think it might spike a bit to like float with 4K and then pull back up to overall hold the 5-minute range for FOMC. Holy. It's actually a really good New York session today. I'm not really seeing any shocks in the water. Pretty much all my trade ideas have been playing out. I haven't seen a trade idea fake out since we got into stream. This thing's gonna spike. Feels like New Year's over here. It's FOMC days. There's like fireworks going off all over the place. Man, 3.3 mil? If it closes like that, that's the biggest candle we've seen in terms of aggression all day. So you can see they're really, the sellers are really trying to get through this zone. 3.5. Sometimes I wish we could just all, you know, just accept that price wants to move down and then it just moves down easily, because there's a lot more sellers wanting to move down. Right? Like if the buyers could just come and we can all hold hands and sing Kumbaya and, you know, just accept that, trading would be so easy. So easy. We would pretty much just buy or sell based off of order flow. But you always gotta wait. Yeah, I trade both London and New York. That's my support plus OB. Will I go live during FOMC? No. So it took a lot of partial accounts as trades, but was 2 trades each account. Buy L or low in that zone. If it breaks, it's going to drop even more. Yep, we gotta draw a money emoji over here. Let's draw some money emojis. Oh, Lee, I just want to see those equal lows get broken. Damn, man, look at the amount of orders. The question is it waiting for new hourly? But it could technically move. And it could technically move. You see the size of this candle here? It's not like it's pushed that much. You see the size of this previous candle here? I think that was more during the Asia. It could do it till 4K at least. Like close to 4K. Get it. Well, that's how I usually trade. You can find that on my Instagram. Just follow me on Instagram. I post my trades daily. I'm gonna send you a link. Books you recommend about trading? This is a Rich Dad Poor Dad. It's not exactly a trading book, but it's a more psychology book. Trading books trading books you can read. Market Wizards, all the series Market Wizards. I think there's another one called Turtle Trader. The Turtle Trader. But if you haven't read Market Wizards, that's one you gotta read. There's also I think it's called Reminiscence of a Stock Operator. It's more of like a historical outlook on trading as well. I think it's quite valuable. It's an old book. And then a bunch of Mark Douglas's talks are really nice. Just listen to Mark Douglas. Trading in the Zone as well. Yeah, that's nice. I find like listening to Mark Douglas pretty good. But the best teacher for sure will be the market at the end of the day. Just showing up to the charts, learning how to read the candles, anticipating moves like this, learning about patience, and just, it's the mindset that you really need to work on, because entrepreneurship is a very difficult thing, and it's a lot of reasons why they say only about maybe 20 to 30% of businesses survive 5 years. Correct? So it's more about forging a mindset of a very resilient entrepreneur who wants to really make whatever dream come true. That's kind of more that you're working on when you're looking at psychology, because you can't have thin skin in the market. Because if you got thin skin in the market, you tend to overtrade and it'll push you around and you'll be like a feather in the wind. Just the same way like business is a cutthroat industry. And you have to forge that resilience and need to keep pushing forward in adversity. That's really what you're doing when you're reading psychology books, in terms of even trying to become a good trader. With that in the back of your head, how can I numb myself to become someone who's more focused on the process that needs me to be the man that I need to be to get the things that I want to get? But you gotta like teach yourself these things. I think there's a small accumulation here, but it's not as clean as the overall break below those lows. Maybe a slightly earlier entry. I think volume will start coming in by like 40.10 as it bleeds down towards. I see that 1 hour is also starting to spike below. All right, chat. Watch out for the fireworks. Holy. Look at this. Negative 3.6 million on Delta. Orders flying in. Watch out for the fireworks. You're gonna see a very important reaction here by 4008. Look at that. Buyers are trying to hold it again. You can imagine the amount of sell orders sitting around here. Because once they start to get triggered, it's gonna act like or rather it should act like rubber bands snapping as it tries to break away through that hourly accumulation. And there's like 8 more minutes left. I have sometimes seen that the hourly moves with volume towards the end of it, when there's like 10 more minutes left. It's kind of trickling though. I don't like the way it trickles. But on the hour it looks steady. It's an hourly breakout. So if you were to journal this trade, you journal in terms of a 1 hour time frame. And there are your orders. The orders just got triggered. And now here the sellers coming in. Look at the order flow as well. So you can play it aggressively, right? You can play it aggressively. And let me secure this. Nice. I wanted a bit more of a spike though. Like I wanted to see a strong spike, but it wasn't giving me that strong spike. So I said, let me just take that. You see, because now it's like, it's not giving me that strong spike. Usually by that point, it should have already spiked. Like maybe 20, 30 plus pips, but it didn't give me like a strong spike. I was waiting for the spike, but I've noticed like so far today it's been like doing this and then coming back, retesting the entries and then moving down again, you know, kind of like slow, slightly slower, but like really good. Still kind of respecting overall structure. How much did I even make on that? I saw like about 2%, but I think I secured how much is it, like 920? 920 divide that by 50k times 100, 1.84%. Bleed. Bleed, Goldie, bleed. Sellers in open waters now. Come on, go for that 4K. I wanted to see a spike though. You got a little bit of a firework though, like not as much as I hoped. But it's a brilliant day, man. Like people say don't trade FOMC, but so far I'm seeing literally all my trades have been playing out. I'm up now 5,590, which is about 11.8%. Now I'm up about 11.8%. Let's get it. Clearly, all my trades have been playing out. Let's get it. I can trade gold at the moment on Profirm, but Nas played 2 times more 5-minute shotgun with a liquidity grab. Taking me higher, higher. Hourly is about to open in 4 minutes. But I'm gonna head out here, guys. I hope you found value in the stream, and everything you learned here, just apply it, and I'm sure you will have an awesome time. Adios. Take care, everybody. $4K incoming. $4,000 psychological incoming. All right. Adios. Adios.
Bring the baseline back around again. Bring the baseline back around again.